Hello everyone and welcome to the first day of the anniversary 10 buffs, and boy, we have an interesting day today. You probably already saw the thumbnail and or title, but yes, today we have the 5-star saber buff and it goes to Muramasa and his noble phantasm, and the 3-star caster buff goes to Medea. Yes, a skill buff. Very cool. They finally remembered she exists, and honestly Muramasa has never seen a buff either, so it's pretty cool. I was hoping for Sigurd's skill buff personally, but this is fine too. So let's start with Muramasa and see what we're working with here. Now I want to apologize for the graphic. For some reason Atlas still hasn't updated their site, so I'm gonna have to use like a bot from Discord. So this is how it's displayed, so apologies. Hopefully it's gonna be better on the follow-up days. But yes, it's a buff to his MP. So previously his MP, before damage, he got 10% arts up for 3 turns on base overcharge for himself, scaling up to 30% on max overcharge. Also 10% MP damage for 3 turns flat from a normal effect. He removes all enemy offensive buffs with his MP, and then he does damage, which also ignores defense buffs. FX wise, not bad MP honestly, not bad at all. It just didn't hit super hard, I guess, but it was pretty fine effects-wise at least. So now the main difference is that it got the standard damage upgrade, as always with MP buffs that are damaging. But now, in addition to him getting the arts buff for 3 turns on his overcharge, he also gets a quick and a buster up with the same values for 3 turns. So base overcharge 10% each, up to a 30%. So it's now a rainbow buff. Pretty cool, I guess. He is actually someone who is capable of doing some decent face card damage after all with his crits, so it's kind of nice that he got a rainbow there now. But that's it, that's the only change they made. The damage upgrade for the MP and then adding the 2 other card types. But they are still ramp up though, remember, it is before damage and it's also 3 turns. So for farming, it might not be all that crazy. I mean, it's still good, of course, because the MP just does more damage now. But especially for bosses, it's quite cool, because now his face cards, besides the arts cards, also got better. I haven't seen the farming numbers yet, but they should be hopefully way better now, regardless as well. So this year on the Saber tier list, we placed him on flat A, which I think I fought a little for as well, honestly. I'm not sure if everyone in that tier list agreed on that from what I remember, but with this, I think I'm gonna bump him into A+. Some might argue, some might say now he maybe deserves A for realsies, but I don't know. I'm just gonna bump him into A+. Haven't seen the farming numbers yet, but I think he's gonna be very solid now with this MP buff. Then let's talk about the spicier buff. Yeah, I think actually the low star buff this time around is the more spicy one. So a skill buff to Medea, and man, there's a lot of changes to talk about here. So let's get covering. It is a buff to her 3rd skill, so previously on a 6-turn cooldown, it is a targeted skill. For one ally, they get all their debuffs cleared, and then they also get 50% MP gain for 1 turn. It was an interesting utility buff, but just way too weak in my opinion to be ever super impactful. So let's see what they did. Now on a same 6-turn cooldown, first of all, the previous effects I listed, they're now both AoE. So it's no longer a targeted skill, it is a full-on AoE skill. So all allies get their debuffs cleared, and all allies get 50% MP gain for 1 turn. Very cool, that's a good start. But then we have 3 new lines. First of all, she herself gets 30% arts up for 3 turns, and then all allies get 20% arts up for 3 turns. And this also applies to herself too, by the way, it does not exclude her. So she herself gets 50% arts up for 3 turns on this skill. Very good. And then to top it all off, all allies also now get 20% MP damage for 3 turns. Nice. Now this is an amazing skill. Honestly, this skill is absolutely top tier now. This is an EX tier skill. And even then some. And it's pretty crazy that it is on a 3-star servant of all servants. I keep saying this in some buffs, but the only reason this skill is now balanced is because it's on Medea of all people. If this was on a 5-star, oh boy, we would be talking in a very different tone. But yeah, this skill is now pretty top tier. That is an amazing skill. The utility is great, and then the guaranteed damage upgrades and gains from the arts is also really good. And this will definitely help with her own damage, because for those that don't know, she has a gimped MP modifier. Despite being single target, she basically does AoE damage to one target, which is really unfortunate. So the only way to really play her was to use Black Rail, and even then you couldn't see like amazing damage. But with this, she now effectively gets 50% arts up and 20% MP damage, which is quite a lot for her own damage as well. Not to mention, allies get 20% arts and MP damage each, totaling up to like a 40% on mixed buffs. So that's actually not bad for supporting damage either. That is a lot of damage right there. I'm not sure if this will make her an interesting support option. I have a feeling you might see an esports copy sometimes pop up. Like level, I think it's... is it 50 when you get the... yeah, I think it's level 50 for 3 stars when you get the 3rd skill. It would be better if this was the 1st skill. It happens to be the 3rd skill, unfortunately. But I think this will actually give her some use cases. And for Medea herself, that people who enjoy using her as a DPS, there's not a whole lot, but you know, those people will be very happy with this, because this should definitely increase her damage by a good chunk. So she might actually be a viable single target caster now, albeit still, I would say, a budget option compared to some of the other ones, and then compared to some of the alter ego options too, I suppose. But this is an amazing buff. Finally, she got something really good going for her. So on one of the low star tier lists this year that covered caster, because we did them in 2 parts, we placed her on D+. We even named the tier after herself because, you know, it was kind of funny. But now, let's just, let's fix this a little bit. Let's make it just a D+. And I think now Medea will move into... I'm saying B. That's a huge jump. But honestly, I think it's warranted. Depending on how much use cases she will have now after this, which honestly could be a thing that happens, yeah, I think she deserves a higher rank. Maybe even higher than this, because again, it's a great skill. It's still kind of a shame that her other 2 skills are very lackluster and her MP is, you know, still not the best. But man, this skill alone is very solid. I could be jumping the gun here as well a little bit. Maybe she's still kind of whatever. Maybe she won't see any use at all besides the enjoyers, but I don't know. I'm feeling this buff. I think it's really good. So before we close off this video, I'm gonna do my predictions for tomorrow. For day 2, we have a 5-star archer and a 3-star archer, so an interesting combo. One could maybe take these buffs that we got today as an idea for a theme, because this could be like a Holo Ataraxia themed one, since the game just got remastered and these 2 servants are semi-relevant to that. So one could say like Gilgamesh and Kid Gil or something, I don't know. But personally, my guess for the 5-star archer is Artemis. I really hope to see her, because her skills are still pretty trash. So I'm hoping for a nice skill buff there. But if you want my biased opinion, what I want to see the most is Tametomo. Especially if it's an MP buff. That could make him absolutely amazing. But even a skill buff would already be very cool. So personally, I want to see Tametomo, but I'm hoping kinda and, you know, assuming it's going to be Artemis. For 3-star archer, I think the only logical choice is Kid Gil. It kind of goes with the HA theme I mentioned, but also even before I saw today's buffs, that was my prediction. Because I think of all the 3-star archers, he's the only one that's basically useless. All the other ones can be used to an extent or to a very good extent, but I think Kid Gil is the one 3-star archer that is just kind of no good. So hopefully they fix him a bit tomorrow. So there you go, there's day 1. Pretty damn spicy, I want to say. I'm sure a lot of people have been waiting for a Muramasa buff, and maybe even more people have been waiting for a Medea buff. She still doesn't have a swimsuit, unfortunately, although I guess we still have part 2 of Summer to cover this year, but at least they gave her something, so I'm sure Tanaka Atsuko is smiling up there somewhere. Rest in peace. Real quick, I also want to say thank you everyone for tuning into the anniversary celebration stream yesterday. It was a great time, and there was a lot of people there, so thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. Also, if you enjoyed this video, do me a solid and press the thumbs up button on it under the video. It really helps out. And hit also that subscribe button. And hey, why not tick that bell on as well? Ding ding, get notified when new buffs drop. Because I'll be doing these videos as soon as these buffs drop. So in 24 hours, you'll be seeing the day 2 buffs. Shout out to my patrons on the screen right now and Sue for being a big YouTube tier member supporter. And otherwise, hope to see you tomorrow as well. See ya, my dudes.